All right, summation of the September 15th, I think it was, meeting of the Mendham Borough Town Council. It's kind of a long meeting again. A lot of the time taken up by discussion of the Highlands Commission, or whatever it's called. This whole idea of rezoning the state to control development, to protect the environment, and to make roads and everything else more efficient and all that kind of stuff. And so towns kind of have to opt in or not opt out, depending on whether they do. They get certain perks for that, but the state gets certain control over zoning is basically what happens. Then related to this was a lot of discussion about COA, the Affordable Housing Council stuff, and the fact that you have to build these affordable units based on how much development is projected for your community, and based on how we are rated by these different commissions that we belong to, or councils, or whatever designations made by different people. Those numbers go anywhere from I don't know, 144 to 49 or something in terms of how many new units will be built in this town over the next 12 years or whatever, 6 years, whatever the number is. So anyway, it gets very convoluted. The bottom line is that if you only really have to do what you end up doing. So if the houses are built, the numbers for the COA, for the affordable units, for every 4 new residents you build, you have to have 1 affordable unit. And for every 16 jobs created in the town, you have to have 1 affordable unit created. And so the town will basically can collect a tax for that. There's already a 2% tax on commercial development that goes into a fund, and the town could put a 1.5% tax on residential development that would go into the fund, and then you would build the affordable units out of the money in the fund, or a developer could put the unit in itself as part of a development plan, and then the town wouldn't have any responsibility, it wouldn't collect the tax, and they wouldn't have to build anything. So the town basically for years has just been spending the money on the MASH units. They've been kind of just using that as an excuse and calling that their obligation to affordable units, forever, since the 80s. Late 80s anyway, I guess. So anyway, that's sort of, I guess, by this third round standard sort of has to change. And they're going to have to actually do something a little more aggressive to meet these standards. And I guess there was the ex-mayor was making some comments. I don't know whether he's still part of the planning board, but he just seemed to talk without being recognized, like, he had a right or something, which is okay, I guess. He brought up some reasonable points about what happens if you don't comply with the standards, and what they're going to do, come and shoot the town, and they're likely not going to do that. They just take the tax money, and but they might force some development. So a developer could come in and say, well, look, this town is not in compliance, we want to do this, this, and this, and so they could disobey the zoning laws to do some building if the town doesn't do what it's obligated to do. So anyway, depending on the numbers, in the next 10 years or so, the town's going to have to build maybe 10 of these or 12 of these units. But who knows? It just kind of depends on whether they can ask for a variance from the council, get a lower number of expectations of development, and they can basically submit a plan, and a plan doesn't mean too much. I mean, they can submit a plan and they don't have to really obey the plan. But the bottom line is going to come down to what actually gets built in the town to meet their obligations. So anyway, it gets very convoluted. It really is about zoning, and the town has some control over that. So I mean, if we don't want people building or developing, it just seems like the town can pass an ordinance that makes it impractical for development to take place. But being in these statewide thing, they would be obligated to zone as the state requires, apparently. And it's focused on cluster development, which means building housing kind of in a small area and creating open space around that area, or preserving land one place and another. It's almost like there was some discussion of trading development rights. So if somebody has a property where the land is kind of sensitive, they would trade that land in. They would get the fair market value for it, the real development value of it. and the money would come out of a fund that developers would pay into. Basically, it would just keep all the real estate prices high, so there is no takings of land, as they put it. I think the whole thing's a little bit wacky, because I don't see why anybody's responsible to preserve the value of land for development. I mean, that's like any other investment, you know. You buy, sell low, buy, sell high, buy low thing. You know, buy low, sell high thing. So if they don't do that, if they hold on to land too long, well, that's their tough luck. I mean, it really isn't the town's responsibility to keep people's real estate values high on property they're not even paying taxes on in most cases, because they just declare them tree farms and pay $1. So they get to own a huge amount of land, don't pay any taxes on it, and just hold it as an investment opportunity. And screw preserving that opportunity. Let's put land at its real value, not an artificial maintained value. So anyway, moving on, the other things discussed, there was some new retirement plan apparently they're moving to for town employees, or new ones, but the old ones will all be grandfathered into the, you know, so if you hire somebody who has any experience, you're likely going to end up hiring somebody who has to be grandfathered into the old system. But apparently the new retirement system is just going to be like a 401k thing where there's contributions made and stuff like that, but it won't be the huge pension opportunities there are now. Apparently, no one has the details of this pension plan, so who knows, you know. And if it's controlled by that stupid, whatever it is, Commission of Public, I can't remember the name of it, but the whatever that stupid thing is of government employees tells towns what to do, which is outrageous. But anyway, it's probably a racket. The town did pass, or I guess, a resolution for the resource officer, they call it. You know, that's the cop at the school. So they're paying for another year of that crap. It's something, I don't know, some kind of planner. I don't know what the planner's for. Some guy giving them consultation advice, I guess. So, but there were no specifics. Apparently the MASH, again, parking lot needs to be repaved, and apparently the town's going to pay for that for some reason. Why, I don't know. The administrator did comment again on the stupid stream bank job there, the erosion thing, the $70,000 white elephant down at the Borough Pond. Say, very good job. Well, yeah, I guess they did a good job, but it's, you know, $70,000 for nothing for the Great Wall of China to fix a problem that didn't really exist. Commons, there's some sort of discussion, I don't know about, I guess, snow plowing, this or that, where somehow the town is responsible to maintain these roads, and or the lights too, and who knows. You know, the town apparently made some really bad deals in the past with developers, and you know, the town's got stuck paying for services, you know, to these little niche communities that it doesn't do for the whole town, which is kind of silly. There was some discussion of the cell tower behind King's. Apparently the Verizon or whoever's got the application for the tower says the location of the firehouse wouldn't be suitable to them. So it looks like the one behind King's might go forward. But, you know, it'll be a while. There'll be shenanigans going on back and forth, no doubt. And then finally, I did ask a public question about the, you know, why the town doesn't just put up a referendum on this whole, you know, merged library issue. And the argument was made that, well, the town has solicited opinion and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, somehow people are informed, and people didn't know crap about the last deal, the details of it anyway. And you know, the mayor even said something about, you know, it'd save money, you know, like somehow a referendum costs money, and I don't think it costs the town anything to put a question on the ballot. I really don't. I think they just submit it when it's time for an election within the time limit, and it's put on the ballot. It's no big deal. So anyway, one council member did say that before the town spends any more money on this crap, there should be a referendum, so at least that was good. And the mayor did emphatically say that there's no plan to spend any more borough money on a merged library. But I guess if they do partner with the township, they will be liable for whatever the township is spending to investigate their Coal Hill Road Pitney property location. So it would appear that the location behind the Methodist Church is out of the running, because you'd have to spend some money to find out whether it's a viable location or not. But anyway, so that's I also submitted a proposal to the town that I would do their website for, just the hosting cost of maybe $100 a year, and just throw it in there just to see what they do, see how they would respond to it. And I didn't oblige them to make public comment on it, but we'll see what they do. We'll see how they deal with this website issue as they keep investigating shyster contractors,